Alright guys, just trying to put out a trade idea on ZIOP. Again, this is a pharmaceutical stock, so be careful on it. These are risky stocks, but there's a potential in the stock based on the trend, based on how it's consolidating, and based on the targets, okay, and a very low risk trade. So you're looking at a weekly chart, drew some lines. There's a channel to the downside, but however, the channel kind of putting a bottom to it, right? And if you look at the weekly chart, you're seeing some lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and trying to put a higher low right around here and see if this breaks out of it. If it breaks out of it, it'll start to begin to a new trend. So let's look at that in a daily chart. In a daily chart, it looks a little bit better. You had a huge support here, right? Your support being tested, and once it broke out of this support, went up, had a little bit of a fake to the upside, even though there was a moment to profit on it, right? Eventually came back in, tried the support again, right? Finally breaking out of it. What I like about this is it's actually been consolidating for a while around this area, around 449 to 440 area. In fact, there was a trade here that I posted on my Facebook timeline, which was a pullback trade, right? So there's two types of trade. There's a pullback trade, and then there's a breakout trade. I'm talking about a breakout trade here. I took a pullback trade, which I'm mostly out of it, getting a little bit in there, but I'm gonna add more back in only because this is interesting stock. So what I'm looking at it based on the daily chart is, once it breaks out of here, right? I wanted to see a break out of here. This consolidation areas, you look to the left of it, the price is traded here for months, right? For all the way from November to down to April. So what I'm expecting it to is break out of it here. I wanted to close about 450 area, right? Wanted to close about 450 area, retrace back into this 440s to 450s, and then that would be the buy, okay? So let it close above this 450 area, and if it does, you potentially have a long trade to the upside. Your stop would go right under this area. I would give a little bit of room, about 408, depending on what how much you're risking. Categorize your loss and also your position size based on that. And what you're shooting from here is all the way, well, you're gonna have a bunch of targets, right? Your bunch of targets right around 492, then the ultimate target is about 560 to 580. So looks like a decent trade, low risk. You look at it, you're risking about this much, one part, you're making about this much, almost 1 to 4. So whenever you plan a trade, always know what your potential targets are. If you have, even though you don't reach to 1 to 4, you can pull out earlier than that, but you need to know what your stop loss is before you get even into the trade. So that's the trade idea on ZIOP, along around 450 area, 454, let's just say. Stop around 405, 407, and you're shooting about 492, then your 560s, okay? So move your stop based on that. All right guys, take care, and that was the stock trade idea on ZIOP long.